Welcome, graduates, staff, and families to today's virtual graduation. As your superintendent, it's my honor and privilege to certify that each of these graduates today have met the requirements set forth by the State Board of Education and the Beaverton School District Board of Directors. To our families, thank you for sharing your children with the Beaverton School District. Together, we have helped to shape and mold tomorrow's leaders. To our staff, thank you so much for your efforts in guiding these young adults to this point in their lives. And finally, to our amazing graduates, thank you so much for everything you've done in the Beaverton School District. You are amazing. You have overcome challenges that would have caused others to fail. Today, sitting before us, we have graduates who will be the first in their family to graduate from high school or will be the first to go to college. You have left your mark on the Beaverton School District. Now go out and make your mark in the world.
Hello, everyone. The fact that you're viewing this means that our pandemic has not subsided to the point that we can gather in person. It also means that we are left with our final option, and that is a video graduation. Thankfully, we were able to hold our senior celebration earlier this summer, and many of the pictures that we will share here today came from that event. While the celebration provided an opportunity for seniors and families to capture the close of their senior year in photos and video, what it did not provide was an opportunity for us to reflect and recognize the full 13-year journey the class of 2020 has now completed. So rather than a graduation speech, I would like to offer just a few words of introduction. From their first days on campus, we always referred to the class of 2020 as the visionary class. To be honest, this was just a play on words and always felt a bit cliche and forced. Because you're graduating in a particular year does not magically bestow some type of special power on a group of young people. But then, COVID-19 struck. Seemingly overnight, you seniors went from taking your educational victory lap and enjoying your final spring sports seasons, proms, plays, and concerts, to sheltering in place and filling the roles of essential workers, helping our community have access to groceries, meals, and basic necessities. In addition, you went from worrying about what you might wear to a dance or do on the weekend to worrying about keeping your families safe from a virus that preys especially hard on the elderly and the compromised. Instead of making plans about going out with your friends, you turned to making masks, to making meals for the hungry, and making a difference in the world by raising awareness about injustice. While there is no doubt that your academic learning was cut short, you've learned more and grown more in these last 4 months than you will at any other time in your lives. And while you had every reason in the world to feel cheated, shortchanged, and sorry for yourselves, that is not at all what you did. The maturity and selflessness that you displayed throughout this journey has been amazing. You've been able to sort through all the clutter and the noise that our society has drowned you with. And you've come out with clarity about what matters most: protecting your families, how special it is to hug or be near the people that matter most to you, and just how much we as humans gain from interaction with one another. There's an old saying that goes, hindsight is 20/20. It's the reason that we like to Monday morning quarterback or share how we would have done it better after an event has already taken place. But I would like to suggest a different saying. Foresight is 20/20. For all of you seniors, and ideally for our entire world, we have been forever changed by the last 4 months. Our priorities have been rearranged, and our eyes have been opened to what truly matters most in life. My hope for all of you is that the experience of the year 2020 will forever change you, that it will forever change the way that you view the world and the impact that you have on it. As you leave Sunset, take with you the foresight this year of 2020 has provided, and live life with the gratitude and humility these months of hardship have fostered. Thank you.
Hello parents, teachers, administrators, and the class of 2020. It is incredible to see us gathered here today. I know many of us were unsure if we would be able to see our friends and peers again, and I'm so grateful to see all your faces, albeit virtually. My name is Ratika Sarapalli, and I am honored to be here presenting the salutatorian remarks to our class as we experience our last few moments as high schoolers. When I began to write this speech, I was truly at a loss for what to talk about. Not because there was nothing to highlight, but because there was so much to address. How do I even begin to encapsulate all that we have been through in the past 4 years, especially the past 5 months? However, as I reflected on our time as Apollos, one word came to mind, the word "and." Sunset fostered an environment where we were never just one thing. We are students and athletes, we are students and leaders, and we are students and artists. Nothing in life is ever one-dimensional. We are multifaceted beings with likes and dislikes, morals and values, thoughts and ideas, and that's what makes us human. Sunset encouraged us to develop this humanity by offering us resources and opportunities to expand on who we are outside the confines of the classroom. Whether that be achieving a PR in the state finals of cross country, winning a Scholastic Gold Key for your art, or delivering oral arguments at the federal courthouse as part of Sunset's mock trial team. Even during the pandemic that swept the world in the past few months, our list did not remain stagnant. We kept building who we are and what makes us human. I witnessed many of my peers take up service industry jobs, putting themselves at risk of contracting COVID-19 with the intent of giving back to their community, adding selflessness to their identity. Others organized drives to collect items many needed to survive, from canned foods to hygiene products, attaching activists to who they are. Yet even more of my peers found ways to emphasize the importance of social distancing, creating graphics to demonstrate the proper ways to protect yourself, affixing teachers to their lists. No one is leaving this ceremony just a student. Whether you were a thespian, a racquetball player, a debater, a graphic designer, or whatever you chose to dedicate yourself to over the course of your 4 years at Sunset, you will always be a student and an Apollo and whatever else your future holds. Our lives have only just begun, and I'm so excited to see how each and every one of you continue to be true to yourselves and accentuate all that you can offer. As we begin our individual journeys, our time as Apollos and developing our character with the word "and" has given us a unique edge, one that enables us to successfully be people, to be human. We are graduating Sunset with more than just a piece of paper signifying that we have met all the educational requirements for the state of Oregon. Sunset ensured that we are graduating as eager, wide-eyed, hungry citizens of the world, ready to absorb whatever we can to make ourselves the best versions of who we are. Congratulations again to the class of 2020.
Hello again. Sunset High School is known as being one of the most academic rigorous schools in the state of Oregon. To that end, this year we celebrate the fact that we have 126 salutatorians. To achieve that honor, a student must have achieved a 4.0 GPA. Among that 126, the student with the highest GPA is recognized as our valedictorian. This year, with a GPA of 4.652, Sunset High School celebrates its valedictorian, Connor Shue. We're going to invite Connor forward to present the valedictorian medal to him. Congratulations, Connor.
Thank you. To my fellow friends, family, teachers, and of course, the members of the class of 2020, I want to thank you. But not necessarily for the memories we've made, the people we've served, or the challenges we've endured and are continuing to face, but for your character. We are resilient, we're hardworking, we're daring. Despite challenges that come our way, we, the class of 2020, see the path that's best for us. My name is Sachin Pillai, and I am blessed to stand here today as your ASB president and address each and every one of you. My fellow seniors, we've worked so hard to get to this moment in the journey we call life, and like any journey, we can't predict the next month or week or even day. No one would have imagined this is how we would graduate. Back in January, if I had to put my money on Tom Brady playing for the Patriots or us graduating online, boy, would I be broke right about now. Challenges are a given, but they are what make the reward that much sweeter in the end. And that brings me to my central point for the speech, to have perspective. In a world that moves at 1,000,000 miles per hour, having perspective is as powerful as that feeling when you decide to skip school on March 13th and start spring break a day early. When you lose all perspective, well, that's just like that feeling of hopelessness when you realize March 13th, 2020 was our last day of high school, ever. Back on our first day of high school, Mr. Helskamp questioned us, asking what it means to be an Apollo. And through these 4 years, hopefully by keeping perspective of who you are, we've found that there isn't just one answer. There's 476, one for each and every one of us. In these next few years, find yourself. For those who think they have it, be wary of the fact that with time comes change. The future is unpredictable. And for those who think it's cliche, I want you to know that what I say is true, as I've learned, and I have evidence to support my claim as I've learned in the past 13 years of my schooling. We have staff here at Sunset that used to be ex-cheerleaders for the Dallas Cowboys. Some used to have phenomenal beards. One even used to be my best friend's babysitter in first grade. Things change, but the key to writing this change is to have perspective. And now, as I stand at this podium as your ASB president, pretending that I'm worthy enough to preach the hidden life secrets of the universe or something, I can't help but remember the day, about a year ago, when I delivered another speech, asking for your vote to become ASB president. I felt that personally, it was one of the most important days of my life. What many of you don't know is that I learned that very same day just how important perspective is in life. I stepped through the front doors of my house after school, the nerves of giving my presidential speech still ringing through me. I couldn't wait to tell my dad how it went. It was then that I learned that my mom's sister living in India had tragically died in a train crash, leaving her only 6-year-old son, my cousin, to be an orphan. I was shell-shocked. It was then that the world came crashing around me. 1,000,000 thoughts about the future raced through my head. How would my mom feel? She was still at work. Would we have to adopt my cousin? How about my grandma? She had already lost her husband and now she loses her eldest child. It was at that moment my perspective on life changed. Becoming your ASB president at the time honestly felt like such a shame. I wanted to drop out. The title meant nothing to me. But looking back at that moment, my mindset has permanently shifted for the better. Whenever I take on a new challenge, I think of my aunt. I know that with that perspective in mind, I don't fear anything because I'm grateful that I can still walk on this earth and live out my life to the fullest. So if there's one thing I hope I can leave you guys with, it's this. Sure, you should have high-flying dreams, 100%. Never give up. That's also important. But through the thick and thin of life, if you have perspective, you will always feel grounded. And if you have that base, my friends, there is no reason to stop becoming the best version of yourself that you can imagine. It's been a real privilege to stand here before you guys, and I wish you all the best in everyone's future. I hope you all remember the memories we've made, the laughs we've had, and the lessons we've learned. So I want to leave you with one last quote, which I think puts this whole perspective thing into perspective. As a century's greatest philosopher, Logic, put it, how can the sky be the limit if there are footprints on the moon? Peace out, class of 2020, and I love you guys.
Will the class of 2020 please rise?
Class of 2020, move your tassels from the right to the left.
Congratulations, class of 2020!
shining star in fancy clothes and fancy cars, and then you'll see you're gonna go far, 'cause everyone knows just who you are. I can almost see it, that dream I'm dreaming, but there's a voice inside my head, you'll never reach it. Every step I'm taking, every move I make feels lost with no direction. My faith is shaking, but I gotta keep trying. I gotta keep my head held high. It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again. Whoa, 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 I did it all. I did it all.
I found every second that this world could give. I saw so many places and things that I did. Yeah, with every broken bone, I swear I live.
I gotta keep trying. I gotta keep my head held high. It's always gonna be another mountain. Always gonna wanna make it hard. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm gonna have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get there. Ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's tonight. We are young. So let's set the world on fire. We can burn brighter than the sun. Na 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 na. Carry me home tonight. Carry me home tonight. Carry me home, so live your life. Hey. So live your life. Hey. You stay chasing that paper, just live your life. Hey. Ain't got no time for no haters, just live your life. Hey. No telling where to take you, just live your life. Hey. 'Cause I'm a paper chaser, just living my life. Hey. My life. Hey. My life. Oh. My life. Oh. Living my life. Hey. My life. Hey. My life. Oh.